Hey guys, it's Jumpy. I'm back again here from 2D Dream Studios here, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys about how to make some really good pixel art so that you can make a really interesting tile map for your game that we've been developing. Obviously, this does not actually require any code or anything like that. You just need a pixel art website, which I'm going to be showing you one. I'm not sponsored, by the way. Don't ask. It's a bit sad. So yeah, let's get right to it. So as you can see here, I've opened up a Pixelart software website, and as you can see, there's a blank canvas, and I'm just going to be showing you about all the different functions that you can do with this Pixelart studio here that we've got. So the first thing we've got to do is we have obviously the pencil tool. Now this, you can just draw anything. So for example, if I want to draw a face, it's really helpful if you have a mouse, because then you can make things really symmetrical and you can make it look good. That is not symmetrical, but you get the idea. It's really easy to control, and this is why it's really good for beginners, because you can really make anything you really want very easily, because it doesn't require any sort of like lines where they're all like wonky and that kind of thing. You can just make something very simple. So what you can also do with the pencil tool is you can make it larger, so 4, and this goes all the way up to 24 when you're literally stamping stuff. This can be really good for backgrounds, but it can also be a bit more interesting for roads. The eraser tool is very self-explanatory. Same sort of thing with the pencil. The bigger the size is here, the more you're going to erase. The brush tool is a bit more interesting. So if you use a lighter color, such as this gray, you can see here that if you look closely, there are different textures, and this is really good for a road. So for example, if I was to create a road right now using this color, very quickly, you can see there's all these different textures that really give it a much more realistic feeling of concrete instead of just a smooth gray paint. And as you can see, it gives a really very nice look. So what we got to do here, for example, is just to add more stuff. It isn't perfect, but as you can see, the road texture is absolutely amazing. So yeah, that's pretty good. So the next one you've got is obviously the line tool, and this is different to the drawing tool. The line tool can help you make lines, obviously, but what you can do is you can hold and you can drag, and when you let go, it does the line, and you can make some really good stuff with this. And so you can make stuff that look really interesting, but it's just really dodgy. Then you've got the square tool, pretty self-explanatory. The more like you do it, yeah, the bigger it's gonna be, same sort of thing. The circle one's a bit more interesting. The larger you do it, the more realistic it'll look, because it doesn't really, like a circle like that doesn't look, it looks okay, but it's not probably the best for a pixel art game. But it's really good if you just want to learn for like beginners. Bucket tool is a bit interesting, because you can just do a bucket tool and it's basically splashing on a canvas and changing it to a different color. Although I should mention, if you do make like a box, say I use the box tool to make a box, ta-da, what you can do is you can use any sort of color here, and you can also make your own color while pressing on the cross, and you just, yeah, you can change the different different colors that you can make. So for example, say I want a pink. Actually, now let's go blue, 2D Dreams color. That'd be more up here. There you go. So now if we just use the bucket, we can splish that, and bam, you can see it automatically fills in, which is actually really useful. Now another thing you can do is a pin drop color, and this can be very useful, especially if you're trying to look at others others' artworks, because it immediately deciphers what exactly what color what color it is, because you may not know what color it is, and you may want that same color in a different artwork of your own. And that's pretty cool. Now with the drag along, you can just see it immediately drags stuff. Let's just make a box, and let's just add the bucket tool. So you can see here that we have a whole thing, and as you can see, I can move it around very, very well. Now the scan tool, I like to use this personally, especially when doing animation, because you can copy like Control C and Control V, and you can paste it over the top. So it's very useful. So for example, if I want to copy a frame for animation, and let's just highlight this. Control C. Yeah. And then let's add another frame. Do the same thing. So let's just open up my Outlook. You can see that it is extremely useful in dragging things around. So if I just press preview, you can see that it just moves like normal. So I usually do this in the rotate function with like animation, which is pretty useful. And you can also rotate this to make it a bit more interesting. There. So if I want to make this thing rolling instead, I'd probably just go up. Let's just make a quick animation. And it's really easy because like the software is very easy, and us at 2D Dreams use this software a fair amount. Like a bit of a fair amount. So if you see, bam, it's just going up. And it looks pretty smooth when you do it. Although it can get a bit choppy, it will be alright. So the text is just, well, I actually have not, yeah, used to. So you can just type. I personally don't use this as much because I usually just use it for art. I don't type. Alright, so I just do all this. So I can just go, let's just go to the Dreams. Done. So you can easily just write with this, and you can just drag it around. Now I'm guessing you can add hollow stuff with this. I'm not really sure how to use this. I know you can make like dots with this one. See, it's just dotted lines, which is alright. I mean, it's good if you're trying to make a chessboard. For example, just crap. Stamps are a bit interesting. You can use any sort of stamps here. Now, what you can do here is you can also import some of the stuff into your game, and it can be a bit useful. You just got to be aware of like copyrights and that kind of thing, because you don't want a lawsuit coming up. So yeah, see, you can just stamp and make it bigger and use it in your game if you really want to. I don't recommend this personally, but it's okay. So you have the spray tool, which is pretty self-explanatory. It just sprays stuff all over your canvas. Let's just erase this black box that's been annoying me for a while. So let's just do this. And it just sprays. And what you can also do is you can add a lot of good texture with this. So here's like a really quick technique that I sometimes do with the spray one. You see that it doesn't create a defined color. And so for what's really good for blood splatters is you would have these little holes, because it just shows inconsistency, which is what you want when you're doing blood. So for example, then you just add a bit more, and see, look, it looks pretty good actually. And then let's say you want to make this a bit darker. And then there. And maybe add a bit more like darker color, which gives it a bit more like realism, if you think about it. And look how amazing that is. That'd be pretty cool to see like on a wall or like a 3D game or a 3D pixel game. And it'd be it'd look pretty nice actually. You know, it's blood splattering. So you can also do a bunch of different things with this. It's really, really handy. Let's see. I don't really know what you do with the drop. I'm not sure. But yeah, so this video is just a guide on how to use the Pixelart software, and this is going to just be very helpful to you because this is what I'll be creating all my assets for our little game that we're going to be making in the tutorial series that is being currently developed. And obviously you've been following the series, and yeah, that's the video. So please guys, if you just want to try this, I recommend you try it. I mean, it's a pretty good software. They don't sponsor me again. I wish they did. I just don't have enough watch hours or subscribers. Speaking of which, just guys, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and please subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and it's free. And yeah, and you get to have early access. Well, you don't get early access, but you get notified the second we upload a video, and it can be very, very nice because it can have our next update, our next tips, and our development strategies, which is pretty interesting. So I will see you guys in the next video, and drink your coffee. And
when you looking up and I'm like, what's up? They leave me out for the dead and now they know they're fucked. All my texts are unread, that's how I know she's done. My life changed in a flash, all my friends gone, my friends gone. What can I say, all this lavish shit comes with downfall. Every day, leave my phone at home, not taking no call. I'm away if you're tryna fuck up how I'm working. Told that bitch to Kid Rock, she